Good evening, everyone. Okay, good evening once again to all of you, and welcome again to Meritnation and my biology class also. Good evening everyone once again. I'm very much fine. How are you all? Good? Oh, great. So everyone is fine. Everyone is ready for the class. Okay, excited? Okay, it started. Why you people are messaging me on personal chat? I cannot see personal chat. I told you. There's no reason of sending me personal chat. Okay, please. Whatever you want to say it here. No personal chats, please. Thank you. Okay, great. Yeah. We'll start. Actually, people are joining. That's why I'm giving you some 2-3 minutes time so that maximum people will be here so that we start the class. Right? Okay. Thank you. Right. So let's talk about something. So tell me your place. At times when people are coming, where are you people from? Which state? Which place? Kerala. Okay. Delhi. Good. Noida. Chennai. Great. Rajasthan. Tamil Nadu. Ooh. It's going very fast. Okay. MP. Hyderabad. Fine. Only one time is okay. For one time, if you write it down one time, I can scroll up and then I can just say that. Okay. Yeah, they type very fast. I told you no personal messages. I cannot read it. Gujarat, Orissa, Mumbai, Maharashtra. Me from Delhi. Vellore. Oh, great. I belong to Delhi. Kerala. So I think we are covering in a single class. We are covering all over India, right? Each and every corner of India, right? Exactly. That's the beauty here. I think I think nowhere else happen this thing that people from all over the country sitting at their home and studying at their own comfort level, right? Exactly. So that is very good. Yeah, Meritnation, small India. That's good. I like that. Okay, one more thing, people. I want all of you to be clear. Do not try to draw or do not try to post smileys on this whiteboard like Yaksh is trying to do. But please do not try to do this because it disrupts my concentration. What I want to teach you. Okay, and if you are sincere, okay, if you are sincere, you people will don't do this. Fine, and don't. One more thing. Don't do these things, minimizing the, video and, attendee list. Okay, please. Because you are a grown-up, you are going to give your 10th board, right? You are going to give your 10th board. You should be very concentrated. Okay. No problem. I know sometimes it is by mistake, but if people do, okay. So that will give me a lot of distraction. Fine. Okay, so many people have joined here. Okay, and I have I can see that 88 people are here. And yeah, almost 90 people are here. Let it be whatever. And I said no personal messages. Avi, please, what do you want to write it here? Write it down at the all. Fine. Okay, no. Fine. Okay. Yeah, 100 plus is my goal also. Okay, so before beginning the chapter, I'm going to close this, chat for you, all of you, right? And in between, I will give you some, for 30 seconds, 20 seconds time to ask anything or, say yes or no, whatever. Fine, according to our situation. And then and then let's just begin. Okay, fine, everyone. So I am actually disabling the chat for all of you. So let's disable it. Okay, great. So yes, I have disabled it. Now, the very important topic or the very important process in any in any living organism is respiration, and it is a single process. It is also a single process which is common both in plants, in animals, in higher in higher order animals, or in higher order organism, or in lower order organism. They are all common. The process of respiration is all common. Okay, why I'm saying this? Maybe taking off, respiration is not a single process. It's not like that. You have glucose, then you oxidize with oxygen and gives you carbon dioxide and water and some energy. No, in your level, it's a very big process. Now it's a very big process because we are talking here about respiration. Okay, so we will talking about respiration in animals, or respiration in humans, then somewhat around about respiration in plants also. Fine, understand. So respiration is plant, we will discuss it also in detail, in which we will study about cellular respiration. I'll tell you what are these things. Okay, so first of all, let's just begin with the topic respiration. So respiration is of two types, or a process of respiration can be broken down into two parts. That means first, that is physical process. The second one, that is a biochemical process, or I can write it down like this. First is called physiological respiration. Let me take a pen for all of you. Just a second. Sachi is offline and I'm not able to change my pen. Okay. Yes. So what I'm trying to write, yeah, physiological. Oh, this pen is not good actually. People are coming online and offline, and that's the problem. I could not able to change the pen here. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, let me quickly change. Oh, I cannot. That's a problem. Just give me a second, guys. Okay, I just want to change the color of my pen. Okay, I hope so I can. Okay, a second, because everyone is here only, and this. Okay, right. Yeah, just a second. I'm taking your time here. So I was talking about respiration is a process through which we take energy. We have energy in our body, right? So respiration is a process by which we can have. But I'm little little worried that how I change the color of my pen, and people are coming and going. I cannot stop you like this, but let me just. It's not changing. It's not at all changing. So guys, I'm just going for for a second, and I'm just coming back. Okay. I hope that will solve the purpose. Just 2 minutes. Okay. Here it is once again. Yeah, okay, fine. This color is good. Yeah. Oh, thank God, I'm able to change the color. Now black is fine. Okay. A lot of student has joined us here. Okay, great. And then it's fine. So breathing or respiration is divided. All of you can let me just open the chat for a while. Okay, now all of you can see me and hear me. Just say me quickly. Yes, all of you. Yes, good. Yeah. Okay, fine. Sorry for the interruption. Okay, I'm not able to change the pen, so you cannot able to see it. Okay, fine. Thank you, all of you. Yeah, right. Here, respiration is a process which can be divided into two phases or two particular, two parts. The one is called, first is called physiological respiration. And you're going to ask me, sir, what is physiological respiration? Okay. I'm going to tell you, yes, what it is. And the next one is called biochemical respiration or cellular respiration. Right. Okay. Now, two things. Okay, someone is playing with my media player. Is it? Please don't do it. Okay, fine. So, yeah. Breathing is also known as physiological respiration and oxidation of food. That means another part of respiration is called biological or biochemical or cellular respiration. Why is this difference? First of all, if we consider two things, respiration needs first glucose or any substituent which can be degraded and have to give energy, and the second thing is oxygen. Right. Glucose and oxygen. Glucose we get from digestion. There is no problem. Now, the process of getting oxygen is or removing of carbon dioxide is known as breathing. It's a physical process. It's a physiological process. No chemical reaction is involved during breathing of physical process or physiological process. Only your physiology is involved. What is your physiology? That is only the part of your body, like your lungs, like your mouth, like your nose, like your pharynx. Okay, that is involved. Inside the cell, there is no reaction which is taking place. Okay, fine. That part, the overall superficial part of respiration. Okay, taking of oxygen and giving out of carbon dioxide is termed as physiological respiration or breathing. Right? Understand? Or in human beings, we also call it as ventilation. You know ventilation? You have ventilation in your house. If you ask your father, so what is father, what is ventilation? So he'll tell you, okay, I have two windows in the room at the upper side. Okay, so that air will come in and from another window it will go out. So that we call as ventilation. That the same way, the intake of oxygen and outtake or outward of carbon dioxide is a process of ventilation or process of breathing occurs inside the human body. That is called physiological respiration. Now, oxygen has entered in our body. Now it has to move to all the cells which can do respiration. Mind you, all cells do respiration except RBCs. Okay. RBCs cannot because it doesn't have what it doesn't have. Can anyone tell me why RBCs cannot able to respiration? Quickly tell me. Yes, let me see. Why RBCs cannot able to do respiration? What is the best answer? Yeah, RBCs is red blood cells. Is ribosome is involved in respiration? Is nucleus is involved in respiration? Exactly. Those who are saying mitochondria, that are absolutely correct. Okay, those who are saying mitochondria, that are absolutely correct, because mitochondria is the organ which is responsible for respiration, for cellular respiration, the respiration which is taking place inside the cell. The part of respiration which is taking place inside the cell is governed by mitochondria or is occurred inside the mitochondria. Okay, fine. I got the answer. Thank you. Okay. So that is why RBCs in our body, cannot able to do respiration. So you will going to ask me then how it gets its energy, right? So that is a different story. I'll tell you. Okay, that is why RBCs has such a low lifespan. It lives for only 120 days. Okay, it lives for just only 120 days because it has to carry oxygen. It is actually carrying oxygen. So that's how it carries, it has energy in them also. Fine, understand? Okay. Next is When we move from breathing, now oxygen is there inside our lungs. It will go to each and every cell. Now, in each and every cell, there is a process, there is a cellular respiration, the biochemical respiration occurs where the glucose is decomposed, is degraded, is broken down into carbon dioxide and water and gives you a lot of energy. Right? That that reaction is called as cellular respiration. Right? So do remember there is a two part of respiration. One is called breathing, another is called biochemical process. Okay, so they are pretty much different. In one there is I can say there is a superficial process. That means only your organs and your physiology is involved. But when you go inside the cell, the cellular reaction is occurring take place. Okay, fine. The cellular reaction is actually taking place. Fine, understand. So till here everything is fine or not? I'm referring to poll because I cannot able to start again, and I'm not able to see each one responses. So here it is. Understood, everyone? Quickly, you are 110 students. Quickly, give your response. Yeah, come on. Quickly, I don't have much time, guys. You have to complete this topic in 1 hour only. Yes. And those who are not in it, they are going to understand the future slide. So it's just an introduction of reproduction, right? Okay, great. I got to know many of you have understand. Okay, fine. Where is the result? And thank you. Let's move on to the next slide. Now, the basic process of respiration, that means glucose. So what is glucose? 6C6H12O6 plus O2 will give you CO2 plus H2O plus a lot of energy. Now I am going to introduce you with a term that is called as ATP. Okay, that is the currency of energy inside your body, right? In this form, the energy is stored in your body, or energy is actually converted in your body. Now, we all know about ATP. What is ATP? What it does? How it actually have that energy stored in their body. Now, let me just go on whiteboard, okay, and talk about ATP. A, T, and a P. Fine. So the full form is adenosine. Okay, it's O. Triphosphate, right? Adenosine triphosphate, right? As the name suggests, triphosphate. It must be having 3 phosphate bonds, right? It must be having 3 phosphate bond. Let's see its structure also. Fine. So it has a sugar. It has a sugar base here, and this sugar is, as you can see, is a ribose sugar. Then it is connected with adenine. This is your adenine. I can draw it with different colors, but I couldn't able to change the Oh, I can. That's good. So next is your phosphate bond, right? Next is your phosphate bond. So here are 3 P's that I have here. Right, now you can see this portion is ribose sugar. This is adenine part. That's why it is known as adenosine. So whenever you attach adenine with a sugar, okay, it is known as adenosine. Okay, it is known as adenosine. So there is one more thing, guanine. Okay, if you have studied DNA, you have some idea that there are 4 nitrogenous base: adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine. Right. So it is the same thing. Adenine, this adenine is adding with this sugar. That's why it's converted into adenosine. Now we are called it as adenosine. Adenosine is attached with 3 phosphates. So number 1, number 2, and number 3. Right. There is one more word if I want to add in here, A, ADP, right? ADP. That is adenosine or adenosine. People say that diphosphate. Now, what is the difference between this ADP and ATP, right? What is the difference between ADP and ATP? As the name suggests, the only difference is number of phosphate bond. Now, if I can draw like this, okay, I can just drawing it like this. Fine. I'm not labeling anything. Okay, I'm just drawing it. So here it is O, there is P, there is O, there is P. So there is only 2P here. Okay, there is only 2P here. Okay, the 1P and the 2P. Fine. And the triphosphate, that means ATP has 3 phosphate. Now, just forget about this. Now think about a chemical reaction. What happens, in chemical reaction when you want to make a bond? When you want to shake hands. Let's take the example when you want to shake hands. Okay, you have to use energy. You have to give energy to move your hands and then shake to anyone. That's the same way chemical bonds are being made. If you want to make bonding between 2 carbon and carbon, right, you have to give energy, right? And you know that energy is neither being created nor being destroyed. It can only change its form, right? It can only change its form. So that is the way when you make bond between carbon and carbon, you give energy. Now this energy is stored in that bond. That's why they are together, right? This energy is stored in that bond. That's why they are together. Now, if you want to break that bond, or if that bond is broken down, you get energy. Now, when the bond is broken, you get energy, right? Understand? The same thing, the same principle is applied here. The same principle is being applied here. Now, I'll tell you what. Let's just delete it. Okay. Now I've talked about ATP and ADP. ATP and ATP are big brother and small brother. Here it is. ATP and ADP. So when you add one more phosphate bond, it's I, okay, phosphate to ATP, it becomes ATP. Right? That is what it suggests. Fine. But the process here is like that. When you are breaking, don't write anything on my whiteboard, please. It's mine. Please don't write anything. You want to write it, you write it on your books. Don't write it here. ATP, when it is broken down into ADP and phosphate, because here, in ATP there are 3 phosphate bond. If one is broken, it gives you a lot of energy. It gives you a lot of energy. Okay, that's how it is broken into ATP and phosphate bond. Right? Understand? And now by this way, our body actually have energy. Right? So whenever you want to have energy, you break your ATP into ADP and phosphate and get a lot of energy in your body, like a normal exercise you do. Okay, in normal exercise you need a lot of energy. Okay, so a lot of ATP has to be there in your body. That is broken down into ADP. That is giving you a lot of energy, right? This is an overall reaction that we have in our body. Now, how this ATP is being made? It is actually being made by addition of, like I have drawn this two-way. This reaction is two-way. So if I add, energy here. Okay, if I add energy here, the ADP and plus 1 phosphate bond make. I told you to make bond, we need energy. So that energy, we need that energy. So energy is coming. Let's suppose energy is coming from somewhere. Then it is making ATP. Right? It is making ATP. ADP plus phosphate group making ATP with the help of energy. Now, where is that energy coming from? It's by your respiration. It's by your breaking of glucose into carbon dioxide and water. That energy is utilizing by ADP and phosphate to make ATP. Fine. And this ATP is utilized by our body to get energy. Understand? Now, I'll just relate it with something. We call it ATP as energy currency of our body. Right? let's say, glucose is also, you will say that, so why, energy is coming also from glucose, why we are converting into ATP. Just understand the concept here. You go to America, you bring a lot of dollar from them. Fine. Maybe somehow, I don't know how you bring it, but you bring it. Fine. Now, if you give this dollar to a normal grocery shop to take tomato, he will going to take that $100 note. He will say, this is not the currency of our country. No way, I can't take it. Though it has a lot of value, but it is not our country. You understand that? So that is the same way. You have to first convert that dollar into Indian rupees, right? Understand? So that is the same way. Glucose has to be converted into another chemical energy. That is your ATP, right? That is your ATP, and this ATP is your Indian rupee. Then whenever you want it, whenever you need energy, this ATP is broken down into ADP and phosphate, and you get a lot of energy. That is an overall reaction of respiration. Understand? Okay. Do you understand it or not? Quickly tell me. I'm reading the chart for you. Any problem here? Yes? Okay. Great. I've got a lot of yes here. Okay. Done. Okay, fine. Thank you. I'm just disabling the chart. Okay, fine. So this was an overall reaction, that is happening. So I'm just, again, I can make make it simple for you. So we have ATP, we have ADP, right? Okay, it's a cycle. So if we add, or plus, let's say it's PI, let's add in here. So whenever ATP is broken down into ADP and phosphate group, it will give you energy. Okay, and when you add energy in there, okay, ADP is making bond with phosphate group and forms ATP with the help of energy. So that energy is stored in here, right? What energy you are giving, and this energy you are getting from respiration. This energy you are getting from respiration. That means breaking of glucose into carbon dioxide and water gives you energy. That is, you understand? It is breaking, the bond is breaking in glucose. That's why it is giving you energy. That chemical energy you are using to make ATP again, okay, so that it can be used in your body, right? Understand? So that's what is going on. Fine. Who is this? Srishti, what is this? What is this? It's not at all good. If I'm trying to, tell you something, what are you doing this? It just really pissed me off. If you don't want to study, just be there. Just relax. Don't do these things, please. I request all of you every time. It disrupts my flow, guys. Okay, where was I? Yeah, I was talking about energy. Yeah, respiration. This. So this was an overall process. So when you break ATP into ADP and phosphate, okay, it gives you energy, and when you use that energy, okay, so what is happening here? You are getting this energy. Okay, fine. Oh, what happened? Okay, so you are getting this energy for respiration, and then this energy you can use in your body. So this is an overall process, and these things are constant. These things are constant. They are what is going on. It's just they are just just adding up and breaking down. They are just adding up and breaking down. They are just doing their work. They are not going anywhere. Fine. ADP plus phosphate moves to make ATP. Then when you want energy, they are broken down into ADP and phosphate. Then again, when the energy comes, they are made into ATP. So that's an overall process going forever, right? Understand? Until and unless you are alive, right? All right. So now it is clear, all of you. Quickly, it is clear. I'll open a poll for you. I'll open a poll for you. That will be good because I'm not able to get all the charts. So tell me, it is clear? Yes. Quickly. Okay, fine. Great. Great, great, great. Let it be 100 volts. Let it be 100 volts. Okay, great. So those who have a little doubt, I think many of thing here has been cleared, but all you have a little doubt, they can clear in the ask and answer. Fine, all of you. So here it is. So I got a lot of vote that they have understood it. So I think those who are not able to understanding it or they have certain doubt, they can ask and answer. Fine. I'm not deleting it for a while. So let's move on to the next slide. So this was the ATP. So we have just described what is ATP, adenosine triphosphate, and there's one more thing we have also described. This is ADP. Okay, he's younger brother. Okay, fine. And there's one more thing. There is one more thing. AMP. That is monophosphate. Mono means one. So when you break one more phosphate, it becomes there is only one phosphate. So AMP. Fine. So you can say, sir, is it possible that ADP, broken down into AMP? Yes, it can easily. But the amount of energy that is coming out, that is very low. So that is why our body do not use this. Fine. Understand? Okay. So let's move on to the next slide. Here it is. So here you can see that reaction which I told you. ATP plus inorganic phosphate, that I write it like this, PI, inorganic phosphate. That is why I wrote it like PI, inorganic phosphate. Plus energy gives you 8. So this energy is coming from respiration, right? And utilization of ATP, that is ATP is broken down into ATP, giving you inorganic phosphate, that is again giving there an energy, right? So it's an cycle. It's a cycle. Okay. Sorry. Now moving on to the next. Now there are two types of cellular respiration. Now I'm opening the chart. Write it down. What are those two types in a single line? Like whatever you want to. What is the correct answer? So write it down in the chat box. Okay, and post it when I'm enabling the chat. So I'm enabling the chat for all of you. Here it is. Write it down. What are the two types of cellular respiration? Quickly. Yes. KK. Okay. What are? Yeah. Exactly. Aerobic and anaerobic. Exactly. All of you are absolutely right. Okay. So okay, fine. I have actually disabled it. No, not physiological and biological. Physiological and biochemical is same. Cellular respiration. B sign. Actually, I have seen it. Okay, because it's the last chart. So cellular is only biochemical. So all the biochemical reaction is taking place in the cell. That's why cellular respiration and biochemical respiration are same. But in biochemical respiration, there are two types of respiration on the basis of the presence or an absence of oxygen. That is anaerobic respiration and aerobic respiration. So if I write it's without oxygen, it's with oxygen. So am I right? Am I right? Get me, tell me through the polls. Yeah, am I right? Means aerobic is without oxygen and anaerobic is with oxygen, right? Okay, great. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of vote. But I'm surprised that 34, many people are saying I'm right. Many people are saying am I right? See this. 39 think I'm right. No guys, I'm not at all right. Aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic, let me just tell you. Okay. Anaerobic is without oxygen. Okay. And aerobic is with oxygen. Aerobic is with oxygen. Let me just clear it out. Or in the presence of oxygen. Aerobic. Fine. It's with the word air. Usually that time they used, aerobic air. Okay. So in air we have oxygen. So that's why with oxygen. Anaerobic. If we just see its name, Anaerobic means without oxygen. So those organisms which use oxygen for respiration, they are called aerobic respiration. Okay, and those which do not use oxygen, like the very biggest example is, or very good example is your yeast. Your yeast is an anaerobic respirator. Fine, understand. It does not require oxygen to do respiration. Okay, we'll study it. We'll study it in the next slides. So let's move on. It is aerobic respiration. So aerobic respiration, it's not like that. We have been told that okay, glucose, okay, plus oxygen is broken down into CO2 and water, and plus 36 ATP. So the number of ATP is 36 when you broke one glucose molecule. So when you broke, just degrade one glucose molecule or decompose or broke one glucose molecule in the presence of oxygen, it will give you 36, or sometimes some people say 38 ATPs also. Fine. So both are correct. There is no problem. So, but 36, usually we use 36, right? So glucose gives you, it's not a single reaction. It's not at all a single reaction. A lot of reaction taking place inside the cell, right? A lot of reaction taking place inside the cell, and it's a very long reaction. It's a very long reaction. A part of this reaction is taking place in the cytoplasm. That is, conversion of glucose into pyruvate. Okay, and then changing of pyruvate into carbon dioxide and water, that occurs in mitochondria. That's why I said RBCs cannot able to do respiration because they do not have mitochondria. Okay, understand? So what I asked you very earlier. Now I'll tell you what are. So the very first step is glycolysis. That means breaking of glucose. Okay, glycolysis, as the name suggests, glycolysis. So glyco, it terms for glucose or carbohydrate, and lysis is breakdown. So in this reaction, it's a 10-step reaction. Do you know that? It's a 10-step reaction. I'll tell you. Then in glycolysis, first of all, pyruvate is formed. That means pyruvic acid is formed. You will study in this in respiration. There is no problem. You will study in cellular respiration when you are going on to study. Okay. Into acetyl coenzyme in 11th class, not here, but in 11th class, in detail when you take biology. Conversion of pyruvic acid into acetyl coenzyme. Now, this acetyl coenzyme then enters the mitochondria. Okay, and there is another cyclic process that is known as Krebs cycle because of the scientist named Krebs. He discovered this cycle, and on his name he has kept this cycle, that is Krebs cycle. And then the conversion of energy released into ATP. At very last, ATP is formed. Fine. Now let us see what are the reactions. In anaerobic reaction, what is the difference between anaerobic and aerobic reaction? The first reaction is same, that is glycolysis. Because in this glycolysis, no O2 is evolved. There is no O2 oxygen is not evolved in this reaction. Okay. Now, after the pyruvate is being made by the glycolysis process, okay, there are two types of reaction can be take place in your body. First is with limited oxygen. Okay, you need a lot of oxygen, but when the oxygen is low, okay, like in your muscles, when you do jogging or running or some physical exercises, okay, the amount of oxygen that is that you need is not sufficient when you when you breathe through your lungs. Okay, so the amount of oxygen is lower in muscles. Okay, that the amount of oxygen lower in muscles. That's why there is an anaerobic respiration. There is an anaerobic process occur in the muscle cells with the limited and forms lactic acid with 2 ATP. It doesn't form CO2. It doesn't form CO2, but it forms another product that is called lactic acid. Fine. And when there is no oxygen is present, it will form alcohol with CO2 and 2 ATP. right? That occurs in yeast. That's how alcohol is being made, right? That's how alcohol is being made. And we also call this process as fermentation, right? We also call this process as fermentation, right? Now, I think it is very much clear. So normally you also for bread making, as you understand, for bread making you use yeast. That is why we call yeast as baker's friend. Okay, it is baker's friend. So yeast is usually used to make bread. So what they do, they add some yeast during the bread preparation or making the dough. Fine, and when they heat it, okay, the dough will rise. The dough will rise. Why it will rise? Because there is an evolution of carbon dioxide. That's why you find so small spores, small pores inside your bread. That is because the CO2 sometime when it was baking, the CO2 is coming out from that surface, right? Understand? That is the reason. Okay, you have porous like bread. Okay, fine. Understand? So that is an overall process. Now tell me, you understand it or not? Quickly, fast. Give your responses quickly. Come on. What happened? Only 2 students are replying. Why? You are not getting my poll here? Okay. Now I got. Okay. So 100 students have said that yes, they have understood it very nicely. Okay, fine. Thank you. So once again, the difference between anaerobic and aerobic respiration is that in aerobic respiration, the end product is CO2 plus H2O plus 36 ATP, right? In aerobic, but in anaerobic, this is the end product. That means alcohol plus CO2 plus only 2 ATP. So the efficiency of anaerobic respiration is very much low. Okay, it is very low because they are making only 2 ATP and here we are making 36 ATP. Fine. That is why we are the best. We do aerobic respiration. Right? Understand? Next. Moving on to the next slide. Now, why do we suffer from muscular cramps while doing vigorous physical activities? Can anyone tell me? I'm opening the chat for all of you. Can anyone tell me why this muscular cramps occurs? Come on, quickly. Yes, due to lactic acid. Very good. Due to lactic acid. Understood. Okay. Yes. Here it is. So due to formation of lactic acid that I told you, okay. So lactic acid is the problem of your normally your muscles have pain and this thing. It's because a lot of lactic acid is accumulated in your body. Fine. That is the reason. Okay. Now moving on to the next slide. Human respiratory system. Okay, I'll talk about that glycolysis process and this thing maybe in the out session, because today I don't have much time left. Okay, because I have a human respiratory system and this thing, so I don't have much time left. But I'll talk when we have doubt session. I'll talk about that conversion of 6 carbon compound, 3 carbon, 2 carbon compound. I'll talk about it. Okay, fine. Don't be worried. Now, human respiratory system is a very important system through which it's kind of, and this is the physiological process that we are going to study now. Fine. This is the physiological process that how oxygen enters and come out, carbon dioxide come out of our body, right? So these are the 5-6 parts that are very important, part for human respiratory system. First is nostril, through which air enters your body. Then it goes through pharynx and reach trachea. Okay, so it goes from here, it reaches through pharynx. Okay, and from trachea. So pharynx is the common space for both food and your air also, but after pharynx they are divided. The food pipe, that is esophagus, and trachea are divided. Okay, trachea, when you eat food, that is, it is covered by epiglottis. Do you remember that? Okay, it is covered by epiglottis, so that food will not come into trachea. Okay, right. So that was the case. Then through trachea we have, you know, bronchioles. Okay, fine. Through trachea we have bronchioles that then they are subdivided, and then they are more divided and goes inside two lungs here, left lung and right lung. And one more thing, maybe you have studied in your school, the left lung is smaller than the right lung. Okay, can anyone tell me why? The left lung is smaller than the right lung. Quickly tell me. Heart. Yeah, exactly. I got to know your answer. Heart. Okay, fine. Heart is present. I got to know. Suddenly a lot of replies came to me. So it's more like this one, and here at this position, heart is present. That's why this position is called cardiac notch. Okay, a space where heart resides. Okay, so this was an overall part of human respiratory system. Now let's see what are and how your breathing takes place. So breathing has two processes. One is called inhalation, and another one is called exhalation. Okay, in going inside and ex going outside means exit. Okay, that's why it's named like this: inhalation, exhalation. Now, not going into this thing. I want to explain on my own. Fine. So first of all, what are the different? What I'll say. Let's take a whiteboard here. First of all, what are the different parts that actually helps in inhalation and exhalation? So first of all, the very first thing, ribs. There are muscles in your ribs. Okay, if I can say intercostal muscles. Okay, then the very important is your diaphragm. Now, these three things actually helps to breathe in or out. Fine. Now I will tell you how. So you have ribs. You have ribs like this. Let's say. Okay. And in between two ribs, there are muscles. Oh, let me take a pen for all of you. Let me change the color of my pen. Okay. It is not good. Let me change it completely to red. Yeah. So we have muscles here. That is called intercostal muscle. Okay. So understand here. So you have like this, you have ribs. Okay. Now before ribs, I want to, one more thing is your diaphragm. Okay. So you have this body. Okay. Your body is divided into two parts. Okay. By a membrane which runs through like this. By a membrane. Okay. It's like this membrane. Okay. Which is just above your lungs. Okay, sorry, which is just below your lungs. Okay, and this membrane is called diaphragm. This diaphragm is only pierced by one thing, that is your esophagus, and you have stomach here, right? So this diaphragm is only pierced by only one thing is can go through it is your esophagus, because it connects stomach with the mouth, right? This diaphragm actually helps in breathing. Okay, and it is very important. It is very, very important. This diaphragm helps in breathing. How? I will tell you. Now, who is this? Aryan, what is this? Again, you people are doing the same thing. I don't understand why. What do you get, by doing this? What happened? What do you got by doing this? You have just scrolled my whiteboard. Nothing happened. Have you got anything? It's just disturbing the class. Nothing else. Why you are using Chelsea erasers and this thing? Please don't do it. Okay. Now, what I was talking about. Okay, so you have ribs. Okay, you have ribs like this, and you have a muscles here. Okay, you have muscles here. So ribs like this, and you have diaphragm here. Now, in inhalation, what happened? What happened? This diaphragm is like this. Okay, and you have lungs here. Okay, this diaphragm contracts, and when it contracts, it is like dome shaped here, but it contracts and it's become plain. So now see here. If I can, Aryan, please don't use whiteboard guy. Please, it's a request. My boy, please don't use it. Fine, because I'm using it. Now, first of all, your diaphragm is compressed, okay, or contracts, and it becomes like this. Okay. Now the space inside your body, the space inside your lungs, your thoracic cavity increases, and when it increases, it gives a lot of space to this lung to go bigger in volume, right? Go bigger in volume. Now also with the help of ribs, with the help of this intercostal muscles, what happens? This intercostal muscles, okay, they contract or they relax so that the space between the ribs increases. Now if it is like this, it increases. Okay, so it contracts like this, it stretches like this so that your ribs increase in size, or the distance between the ribs increases. Now see, if it is like this and if it is increase in size, now the overall space of your chest increases. Okay, the overall space of your chest increases. Now this is the time when the air enters your body, because when the space here, high pressure and low pressure case, when the space increases, the pressure inside the lungs decreases, and the pressure outside your body is more. So air just rushes into the body. Fine, just rushes into the lungs. So it is not that what I used to think in my childhood, that when I just breathe in, my lungs got bigger, or my lungs got larger, or it just swell up. Fine, it's not. It is opposite. At first your lungs become bigger, then you breathe in, and it actually goes in such a sync. You don't even understand that what is going first and what is going later. Right? Understand? That is the case. So first of all, your diaphragm. The very first is your diaphragm will stretch, and it will be like plain. From dome shape, it will be like this. So it increase overall volume of the chest, and then your ribs will enlarge. Okay, that also increases the chest size. Right? Okay. On this way, it increases the chest size. It increases the space in the lung so that lung can swell up. Okay, and that's how your air goes inside the lungs. Right? This is an overall inhalation process. Now, what is exhalation? Completely opposite to this. Nothing special. Your diaphragm again relaxed. When it relaxed from this, it becomes this. Okay. When it relaxes, from this it becomes this. Now the space becomes less. Again, the intercostal muscles relax, and your ribs become less. Again, your space become less. The carbon dioxide come out from your body. This is the overall process of inhalation and exhalation. Is it easy or not? Tell me quickly. You understand it? Let me do this poll. You understand it or not? Quickly. I hope you should understand. Yes? That's my boy. That's my girl. Great students. Great. Okay, fine. I got your answers. Thank you. So this was overall inhalation and exhalation process. Now moving on, this is what is written here. Ribs outward and upward and outward. Diaphragm moves downward. Air moves from outside to inside, increase in the chest side and volume. That is inhalation, that I actually explained you. Exhalation is just the opposite. Ribs moves downward and inward. Diaphragm moves upward. Air moves outside, decrease in chest size and volume. Right? Now, this is an overall passage air in respiratory system. oxygen rich air into nasal cavity, like this is the cavity inside, that is called the nasal cavity. Okay, then it goes to pharynx, pharynx to trachea, trachea to bronchi, bronchi to bronchioles. Okay, let me tell you, where is that, there it is. So you can see this is the bronchi. No, trachea is this is the bronchi, one bronchi each. Okay, now if you see one bronchi, it is now divided into small bronchioles. Okay, it's like a tree. Okay, the bronchi, the trachea is divided into bronchi, and each bronchi is divided into bronchioles, most of parts, and each bronchioles is ended by a sac-like structure, a very thin membrane-like structure, small structures. Okay, a small structures you can see here. Okay, that is known as alveoli. It's a very important structure inside the lungs. Okay, and it is the site where your air exchange. Okay, understand? So this is alveoli. I'll talk about this next. You can see here oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange at alveoli. So alveoli is the space. Okay, alveoli is the place where actually you can it is like railway station. Okay, it is like railway station where okay, I'll tell you this example. I'll tell you where I'll talk about alveoli. So let's just complete it. Then alveoli, oxygen goes to your blood, and from blood it is taken. Carbon dioxide is taken again to alveoli. Okay, there is one more thing, alveoli again here, then alveoli to bronchioles, then the opposite thing happens. It comes to alveoli, and then oxygen comes to alveoli and goes to blood, and then from blood, carbon dioxide enters and goes to mouth again. So it's like two-way process. Fine, understand? Let's you're going to understand it. Now this is alveoli. This is what I want to say about. This is the end of bronchiole, which meets with blood vessels, which meet with capillaries. Okay, so it's like this. It's like ending like this, and it is meeting with the blood flow. Okay, blood is only the oxygen and carbon dioxide. So who is taking this oxygen carbon? Now I want to take that example of railway station. So in railway station, this is your blood is the train, okay, which is taking passenger, okay, from, let's say it is taking passenger. So the coming passenger is your carbon dioxide, right? And those who are waiting at the alveoli, so alveoli is your station. Alveoli is your station, is your platform, okay. So platform, in that platform, oxygen is waiting. That means your passenger which want to go, maybe to Goa, okay. Like you are going because summer vacation is there. Okay, so maybe you are going to Goa or some hill stations, fine, Manali or something else. Okay, so they are waiting there. So oxygen means carbon dioxide is coming, like train is coming, taking passengers. So they will get off at railway station, the platform. So all the CO2 will go to alveoli. Okay, and all the O2 will come back to will go to the train, will board the train. Understand? Okay, so that the same way, like you have imagined the railway station that some got down, some are moving in. Okay, the same way at the alveoli, because at the alveoli, carbon dioxide moves into alveoli and oxygen moves back into the blood capillaries. That's how the exchange of gases takes place. That is a very important point. Okay, that is a very important point. Why it takes place, you're going to understand it in the maybe in 11th class. I'll just tell you, it's because of partial pressure. Okay, it's because of difference in pressure. Okay, the difference in pressure force them to just move out and move in. Okay, fine, you'll study in 11th class, there is no problem, but till here you have to know that where and how this is taking place. Okay, the bronchioles divide many times in lungs to create small branches. These branches ultimately terminate in tiny air sac known as alveoli. That is your platform. Alveoli are surrounded by many blood capillaries that provide surface for the exchange of gases. Right? On the same way. Now, alveoli have exchanged its gases here. Okay, this is the overall mechanism of breathing gaseous exchange. Okay, let me just go through it. Diaphragm and ribs muscle contract, increase in volume of the chest cavity, air pressure inside the lungs it decreases, so air will move inside the body. Here it is, air from outside move inside. Then travel through nostrils, trachea, bronchi and reach alveoli. Now at the alveoli, oxygen rich air moves into the blood. Okay, let's just see here. Diffusion of oxygen from alveoli to blood. Okay, oxygen is carried tissue by the RBCs. Now the blood RBCs have oxygen in them. They carry it to its main station. Let's say Goa. So Goa is tissue. Okay. Now oxygen diffuses from blood to tissue. Now again, you have there is again a point. From Delhi, you have boarded. So Delhi station is your alveoli, okay, and Goa station is your tissue where your oxygen is required. Fine, understand? So this train, this blood, your RBC train, let's suppose, is taking all this to the Goa station, right? So Goa is your tissue, right? Goa station is your tissue. Now there, oxygen will deboard. There, oxygen will deboard. Okay, and from Goa, CO2 will enter the train. So now CO will enter the blood. Now see here, carbon dioxide diffuses from tissues to blood. Okay, understand? So if I draw like this, if I'll say like this, Delhi, okay, to Goa. Fine. So Delhi is your alveoli, Goa is your tissue, and the train is your blood. So from Delhi to Goa, oxygen is going and diffuses to into tissue, and from Goa to Delhi, your carbon dioxide is coming out. That is, in Delhi, carbon dioxide is going to alveoli and then it is going back to mouth outside. Right? That is what it is going on. Fine. Blood brings carbon dioxide to the alveoli. Fine. Diaphragm and rib muscles contract. Decrease in the volume of chest cavity. Air pressure inside the chest cavity increases. Air moves the body. This is the physiological process of respiration. There is no chemical reaction involved. You have seen any chemical reaction there? No chemical reaction involved. Okay. Fine. That is why we call it as physiological respiration, because there is no chemical reaction here. There is only only contraction, relaxation going to take place. Fine. Understand? So this was an overall respiration process going inside your body. Fine. Now tell me, is everything understood or not? Quickly. Residual volume will understand. Everything is okay with you? All of you? Yes? Okay. Great. Thank you. Okay, let me take some questions. People are actually posting some questions. Okay, I'm just disabling the chat. Let me take the question. So, does RBCs again carry CO2 to alveoli? Yes, Shelly. Yes, RBCs as well as the blood, the plasma also carries CO2. Fine. Then how pressure is low inside our body? It's not the pressure low inside your body, it's the difference in pressure of oxygen and carbon dioxide. That's why I tell you will study this in chemistry, then you will understand. Fine, alright. If just it's that you have studied what was that? That wind flow, air breeze and land breeze and sea breeze. When at one place the pressure is low, so the air is moving to from high pressure to low pressure. The same thing happening in alveoli and tissues. That's the same way. Don't understand that we have a low pressure inside our body. No, it's the pressure of oxygen and carbon dioxide that is counted, nothing else. Okay, fine, Prince. Next, RN. Is CO2 needed for cellular respiration? Please answer. That's why I was doing that, because you didn't understand. Answer. Okay. Is CO2 needed for cellular respiration? CO2 is the end product of cellular respiration. It is not needed. It is the end product. It is a product. Carbon, oxygen breaks the glucose, and because let's see here, C6H12O6. with O2 gives CO2 and H2O. So this CO2 is because of this carbon which is there in glucose. Okay, it's because, so it is the end product, right? It is the end product. Okay, Aryan, I think it should be clear. Next, how much air? Yeah, Aryan. So there are two Aryans. Okay, one pink Aryan and one red Aryan. Okay, fine. So pink Aryan, your answer will be here. Okay. Next, I think all question. There is no question left. Okay. Where do both the constituent come from? So the first ATP and ATP are already present in our body before respiration begins. Yes, Pinky. ATP and ATP is your energy currency. It is present in your body. Okay. It doesn't come from anywhere else. Okay. Fine. Okay, fine. So this was the case. So now residual volume. It is the volume of air remaining in the lungs even the forceful expiration. Like now I cannot expire more. So the rest of the air which is there in my lungs, that is called the residual volume. Okay, that is around about 1500 ml. So 1500 ml air is there, always there in your lungs. You cannot expel it out. Fine, you cannot, because you cannot squeeze your lung. You cannot squeeze your lung. Fine, understand? So 500 ml of air is always there in your body, right? In your lungs. Okay, fine. Then okay, fine. Respiration in plants. So it's from leaves, from stem also, and from roots. Why I'm taking this in a hurry, because you are going to study. It's nothing special in respiration in plants. Okay, so where it is going, where it is occurring, that is important. One is leaves, next is stem and roots. So I'll take one by one. Stomata, your leaves, as you know that stomata is the place where CO2 enters and O2 can leave. Fine. So stomata are the pores through which gaseous exchange occur in the plants. You have studied in 7th, 8th, 9th, I don't know. You have studied this stomata many classes. They are present in epidermis layer of leaves, some young stems. Okay, the young stem which are green in color, okay, they also have stomata in them. Okay, oxygen enters the plant while carbon dioxide leaves the plant through the pores. Stomata is like your nose. Okay, it's nothing special. Stomata is like the nose of plants. So opening and closing of stomata is influenced by the entry of and exit of water through guard cells. Now, what I was talking about when guard cells, this guard cells you can see here. Okay, this guard cells, which you can see here, they swell up. When they swell up, okay, they open the stomata, and when they squeeze, when they swell down, okay, they close the stomata. That's how they are being maintained. Okay, fine, all right. That is stomata. That is the leaves where respiration occurs. Next is your roots. So in roots, the roots of the plants also respire. They take oxygen from air spaces. You have this air spaces you can see here, present in the soil by the process of diffusion. So the normal process of diffusion takes the takes the air. So oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide is moved out with the help of diffusion, right? So I'm opening the chart. If any problem till here? Any problem? No? Okay, fine, understand. I have 5 minutes left. Let me just, there are 2-3 more slides left. Let me just complete it. Okay. In older roots, the exchange of gases occurs through lenticels. I'll tell you what is lenticels. Okay. In plants that grow in mangroves or slime swamps, the root is modified to pneumatophores. Now what happened? You have seen in mangroves, the roots are coming out of the ground. Okay. The roots are coming out of the ground. Okay. So this helps in the exchange of gases. Okay. This helps in the exchange of the gases. Okay. Right. So that is this root is called pneumatophores. Okay. Pneumatophores. Next, I was talking about lenticels. So here it is, the stems. Some trees, the trunk bears small opening called lenticels, which you can see in this diagram. Okay, this is a small opening or small pore in the stem that is called lenticels. So gaseous exchange takes place in the bark through lenticels. So lenticels look like a scars in the bark. So it's like a scar in the bark. Okay, that is the lenticels that you have. Right. Now, next, the last slide that I have for you. This is the homework for you. Now you have to tell me how this all the skin, this. Okay, they have. I wanted you to answer, but earthworm respire through skin. Fishes respires through gills, and this insects or cockroaches respires through trachea. Okay, so there are different type of respiration. Means the exchange of gases takes place through skin, through gills, and through trachea. Okay, so this is an open. This is also open. And lungs is closed because the exchange of your carbon dioxide and oxygen is taking place in a closed system. So your respiration, that means your lungs respiration, is the closed respiration, right? Okay. It is also not open, it is also closed because they also have, so let's not discuss about something closed and open. There's no problem. You understand this? Now I think gaseous exchange through gills. So I don't think so. There is a lot of time left. So we'll take this topic at the end of the at the next session. Okay, or maybe in the in the doubt session. I have to teach you some more things. So till here everything is understood to you people. Okay, fine. So do you understand the respiration process that is taking place inside your body? All of you? Yes? Great. So if you have any doubt, anything, if you want to ask, okay, you can ask and answer, and then we have this your doubt session, then we'll find out. Okay, fine, great. Okay, so then we'll meet you next time, same place. May not be the same time, but I'll meet you. Okay, bye bye, take care all of you.